paradigm shift is happening right before our eyes. The internet and World Wide Web is shifting slowly but surely from Web 2.0 to the decentralized intelligent web, more commonly known as Web 3.0. This infrastructure will rely on blockchain technology. It began with Bitcoin, but over the past 2 years, the scope of the blockchain ecosystem has seen rapid growth. The number of digital assets and blockchains are increasing every day. However, these blockchains and their assets remain isolated, operating in their own respective silos. The future of the distributed internet is dependent on the ability of blockchain networks to recognize and interact with one another. Blockchain interoperability is a must. Many projects have promised interoperability and have it on their roadmaps, but not a single one has been able to fulfill the full vision until now. Today I would like to introduce the Blocknet protocol, which is a second layer interoperability solution that enables communication, interaction, and exchange between different blockchains. Blocknet has been kind enough to support the Chico channel and sponsor this video. Like always, the details of our agreement can be found in the description of this video. The suite of Blocknet's technologies allow for the development of multi-chain applications and blockchain microservices, opening the door for more capabilities and possibilities for the entire blockchain ecosystem. The main technologies included is the Blocknet proof-of-stake blockchain, which is powered by the utility token block. Inter-blockchain interoperability is achieved by integration of 3 core components: the Xbridge, Xrouter, and Xcloud. Now let's do what Chico Crypto does best and break down each of these 4 pieces of Blocknet, beginning with the proof-of-stake Blocknet blockchain. So Block is the utility token of the Blocknet protocol and is created through proof-of-stake on this blockchain. This blockchain is secured through 2 types of nodes: staking nodes, which secure by staking any amount of block to verify the blockchain, and these nodes earn 30% of block rewards. There are also service nodes, which are kind of like master nodes, but with an increased level of participation. Service nodes require a stake of 5,000 block, and they earn 70% of block rewards, but also earn 100% of fees generated from use of the network services from the core layer 2 components, Xbridge, Xrouter, and Xcloud. These nodes are critical to allowing these components to function because they serve as a distributed hash table network overlay by hosting full nodes of other blockchains, thus routing communication between the blockchains and verifying interactions between peers. They also host all microservices and perform anti-spam and anti-DOS measures for the network. Now let's get into the layer 2 components that allow interoperability to thrive in the multiple blockchain ecosystem. Let's begin with Xbridge. Xbridge can be considered the decentralized data transport and exchange protocol. Nodes on the Blocknet network are integrated with nodes of other networks, making the Blocknet network of nodes an interchain network overlay. This allows true, trustless exchanges between any blockchain supported by the Blocknet protocol via node APIs. Currently, Blocknet has over 100 digital assets tested and confirmed to be supported by the Xbridge, with the number continuously growing day by day. Cross-chain atomic swaps may be performed between any of these supported digital assets, and the entire exchange process is performed in a decentralized manner, including storage of funds, order books, order matching, and settlement. Exchanges take place on each respective blockchain, and the process is overlooked by the network of service nodes running full nodes of the compatible blockchains, which ensure no malicious behavior can occur. So, data and assets can be transported in exchange, but how do the blockchains communicate with each other, becoming fully interoperable? This is performed by the next piece, the Xrouter. This is the communication layer that consists of inter-blockchain SPV backends, which enable the verification of blockchain records without requiring users or dApps to download the full blockchain. Xbridge and the service nodes are the required infrastructure that support SPV proofs for an unlimited number of blockchains. This empowers the development of microservice architecture that harness smart contracts, protocols, and services from those other blockchains. Xrouter functions on the TCP/IP level, meaning it is compatible with any blockchain network, public ones like Bitcoin or Digibyte, private ones like Hyperledger or R3 Corda, and other distributed ledger technologies like IOTA or Hashgraph. Xrouter utilizes the service node network to route calls from a client, which can be a user, DApp, website, another blockchain, or a microservice, directly to the respective blockchain. It also routes the responses from the blockchain right back to the client. There are two types of Xrouter calls: submission and queries. Xrouter submissions are calls that involve interactions with the blockchain, like sending a transaction. With submission, the calls are routed from the client to the respective blockchain, and a response, if any, is routed back. Xrouter queries are calls requesting information from a blockchain, like getting a block count. With queries, the packets are also routed from the client to the respective blockchain, and the response of the information is routed back to the client. Xrouter queries can require a specific number of service nodes to receive responses in order to achieve consensus on that final answer. You can compare Xrouter as the blockchain internet router. Just like internet routers define paths for users to receive information over the internet from different websites, Xrouter also utilizes a TCP/IP network to connect paths between different blockchains, so data can be freely exchanged between them. The Blocknet of today is built with these two pieces, allowing trading between any chain and interaction between any chain. But there is a final piece that is powered by the Xrouter and is a plugin system that can host and monetize services utilizing the Blocknet protocol. That piece is the Xcloud. Developers will be able to host both blockchain and non-blockchain microservices on the Blocknet Xcloud. Monetizing any service will be possible with crypto payments without having to recode or change anything about the existing application. Xcloud can be likened to a decentralized Amazon Web Services, opening the door to monetizable, fully decentralized applications and microservices. The Blocknet blockchain and Layer 2 components are creating the ability to create DApps, websites, apps, and services that are even more vast and imaginative as the current internet. Blocknet has shown the world just exactly what can be built by creating the first DApp utilizing the technologies. This is the BlockDX, the first truly decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. And it's not just a hybrid decentralized exchange, in which most DEXs out there fall under, as these DEXs are limited usually to a single chain. They involve a third party, they rely on some type of escrow system, or rely on colored coins. BlockDX has no account creation, no third parties, no blockchain limitation, no trading pair limitation, no listing fees, a P2P order book, and direct wallet-to-wallet trading via cross-chain atomic swaps. As you can see from this chart, BlockDX checks all the boxes of a true decentralized exchange, while other DEXs check just some, to only one or two, like the exchange who should not be named DEX. The use cases and applications that can be built out using the Blocknet protocol extend into many industries and enterprise sectors, like supply chain. In the future of blockchain-based supply chains, there will be multiple blockchains used at various steps, much like today where there are multiple software stacks. Blocknet will allow information to be accessible between each of these blockchains. For example, in pharmaceuticals, information about the raw materials, transportation details, and final destinations could all be gathered by a smart contract utilizing the Xrouter, and then write all this data to the pharmaceutical private chain. All this communication would occur in a trustless way, ensuring the validity of that information. Another example is storage and hosting. Right now, when creating a DApp on Ethereum, you may require storage functionality. Ethereum doesn't intrinsically handle file storage very well. In this scenario, Xrouter can be utilized to interact with other blockchains like Filecoin, Sia, or Swarm, enabling that Ethereum DApp to have storage capabilities. The array of possible applications extends into other industries like media, content, markets, healthcare, certifications. The list is actually endless. Well, viewers, Web 3.0 is happening, and the true decentralization is only possible as these siloed blockchains become interoperable with each other. Blocknet is the project that is leading the charge and is light years ahead of other projects who have promised interoperability. Blocknet is the internet of blockchains, laying the groundwork for the web of tomorrow. Cheers. I'll see you next time.